Good morning, children.
Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
Is it because I cannot hear what you're saying, or you can't hear what I am saying? Good morning, children.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Morning, ma'am.
Okay, last class we were learning about the different types of cell division. We had completed mitotic division and we started with meiotic division. We learned about the significance of mitosis. Any two significance or two significant points about mitosis? Can you say? Devika? Yes, Devika?
Mitotic division helps in the cell repair and also the replacement of bone of tissues.
Okay. And the most important point about mitosis, Annelies, regarding the chromosome number?
It forms the two diploid daughter nuclei with identical
Nuclei. No, diploid nucleus. It will form two daughter cells which are having diploid nuclei. So what does it mean? What is the significance in that? The parent cell
identical genetic complex.
as that of those two will be having
Parents.
identical genetic complements at the same time with the parent. So the parent cell or the mother cell as well as the daughter cells formed will have the same number of chromosomes. You call it as equational division. So we started with meiotic division too, and I told you that in meiotic division, reductional division takes place, or the chromosome number will be reduced to half in the daughter cells. And this division is taking place in the reproductive cells or germ cells, whereas mitotic division takes place in somatic cells or your body cells. All throughout your body, it is a mitotic division that takes place, whereas specifically in your reproductive cells, meiotic division takes place. And as a result of meiotic division, the cells formed will have half the number of chromosomes, and this is important so that the chromosome number can be maintained in the successive generations, because meiotic division is taking place in reproductive cells for the formation of gametes. As you know, these gametes will take part in fertilization. When two gametes, when the male and female gametes fuse together, it will form a zygote. So that these gametes, the chromosome number is reduced to half, so that when they fuse in the zygote, the normal chromosome number can be retained. And when you compare with mitosis, I think all these points we had discussed last class. Mitosis only one division. One division means only one stage, one main stage with four specific stages like prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. But when it comes to meiosis, it has got two specific stages, meiotic 1 and meiotic 2. Okay, so two divisions, meiotic 1 and meiotic 2 divisions are there, and these two divisions are having prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. So it can be confusing. You have to be thorough with the pictures given, and please do write down the notes or make some tips and tricks so that you will not confuse between these three stages, means mitosis, then meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. The main stages are same, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. PMAT, that is same for mitosis and the two specific phases of meiosis. So one by one, we will learn all the different stages. Next year, from the prepared slides, you have to identify the stages of meiotic division, whether it is prophase, metaphase, anaphase, or telophase. And in prophase also, some subdivisions are there, all that you're going to learn. So meiosis 1, meiosis 2. Both these phases are also having prophase 1, like coming under meiosis 1, prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, telophase 1. And in meiosis 2, prophase 2, metaphase 2, anaphase 2, and telophase 2. The basic characteristics will remain the same. As I told, in prophase, the the condensation of the chromosomes, then in metaphase, alignment at the equatorial plane, and in anaphase, moving away from the equatorial plane towards the poles, and in telophase again, the decondensation of the chromatids, all that, the basic characteristics will remain the same with specific some extra characteristics too. We'll start with the introduction of meiosis 1. Meiosis 1, it will start after the DNA has been replicated. So during the S phase, the DNA will get replicated and then it will be followed by 2 sequential cycles of nuclear and cell division. Means 2 phases or 2 cycles of nuclear division and cell division, which means karyokinesis and cytokinesis will take place, and we call these stages as meiosis 1. So in meiosis 1 also, karyokinesis and cytokinesis are there. Same goes with the case of meiosis 2. Karyokinesis and cytokinesis will take place there too. But there is only a single cycle of DNA replication that you will understand once we complete it. DNA is replicating only once, common for both these phases. Meiosis 1 is followed by meiosis 2, and here at the end we are getting 4 haploid cells, whereas in mitosis you got only 2 daughter cells. A mother cell will undergo division and we got only 2 daughter cells which were diploid just like the mother cell. But here mother is diploid, mother cell is diploid, and we get 4 haploid daughter cells. Meiosis 1 is divided into 4 phases: prophase 1, metaphase 1, anaphase 1, and telophase 1. But here you can see the prophase 1 of meiosis 1 is differentiated into 5 stages: leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and diakinesis. So here in meiosis 1, the prophase is very lengthy stage. It has got several sub-stages like leptotene. In the order you should learn, because the changes taking place are also in a sequence. So you should remember them in the same order: leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and diakinesis. I'll repeat again: leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and diakinesis. You should be able to identify the significance or significant steps or characteristics of each stage. You should be able to distinguish between among these different stages. Meiosis 1 is divided into 4 phases, involves 2 sequential cycles of nuclear and cell division called meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. All these we learn, but there is only one cycle of DNA replication. Yes?
Ma'am, can you show the last slide?
Previous one. This one, just a minute. This is repetition of what we saw here. Same points. This one you want to see?
Yes, ma'am.
Same thing, points are given in the next slide also. Meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. And in both meiosis 1 and meiosis 2, karyokinesis and cytokinesis will take place, but DNA will replicate only once. And at the end of meiosis 2, that means meiosis 1 will be followed by meiosis 2. And once both the divisions are completed, you get 4 haploid daughter cells.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. And in this also, we learned about the same points. Same points are mentioned here also. But what is new is about those 4 stages: leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and diakinesis. Points are same here too. Leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotin, and diakinesis. So prophase 1 is the longest phase, having 5 substages or 5 phases. It is the longest phase. Prophase 1 is the longest phase, and it is subdivided into 5 phases: leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotin, and diakinesis. We'll start with the first one, leptotene. Here, condensation. As such, in prophase, you know that chromatin material will get condensed. So same happens here also. The chromosomes or the chromatin material will get condensed and they form distinct and compact. You can see, instead of forming or instead of remaining as an entangled network of threads, you can see that they have got condensed. See the figure, they have got condensed, they have got a centromere, they are distinct and compact. So they have changed from that entangled thread-like network to distinct chromosome. So condensation has started. Zygotene. Now the pairing of homologous chromosomes. I already told you homologous chromosomes means the member chromosomes of a particular pair. So you know that chromosomes in a diploid cell, chromosomes will be arranged in pairs. So the chromosomes present in a pair you call as homologous chromosomes. The pairing of homologous chromosomes will take place. You can see they are pairing, and this pairing, two chromosomes will come and align together. The pair will come to align together, and you call this pairing process as synapses. Synapses or pairing of chromosomes will take place. Once again, in leptotene, chromosomes or the chromatin material will get condensed and they form distinct and compact chromosomes. It will be much more clear. It won't remain as a thread-like network. Instead, it will condense, become short and compact and clear. Then, the next stage is zygotene. In zygotene, the homologous chromosomes will start to pair. Pairing will take place. Then how this pairing happens? It is accompanied by the formation of a complex ladder-like structure. See the figure? A complex, a structure known as synaptonemal complex. Here you can see synaptonemal complex. A ladder-like structure will appear. You call it a synaptonemal complex. And what is the significance of this complex? This will help in bringing the two chromosomes, the two homologous chromosomes closer or together. It will facilitate the process of synapses. Once again, in zygotene, the homologous chromosomes will pair. They will come and align together. And the pairing of homologous chromosomes you call as synapses. And to facilitate synapses, a ladder-like structure will be formed. You call it a synaptonemal complex. So this particular structure, ladder-like structure or synaptonemal complex, as you can see in the figure, they'll bring these homologous chromosomes together. The complex formed by the pairing of homologous chromosomes. Once these homologous chromosomes are paired, you call it as a bivalent or tetrad. You know, bi signifies 2 and tetra for 4. So either you can call it as a bivalent in terms of the number of chromosomes getting paired. So 2 chromosomes are present in that pair, so you can call it as bivalent. Or if you take the case of chromatids, I told you that each chromosome is having 2 chromatids held together at the region of centromere. So 2 chromatids are present in a chromosome. So if you take the number of chromatids in a chromosomal pair, there will be 4 chromatids. So by seeing the number of the chromatids, you can call it as a tetrad or just by seeing the number of chromosomes involved in pairing, you can call it as a bivalent. I'll repeat the points again. We were learning about prophase 1 of meiosis 1. It's the longest phase. It is subdivided into 5 stages. It is subdivided into 5 stages: leptotene, zygotene, pachytene, diplotene, and diakinesis. And in the first phase, that is leptotene, condensation. Condensation of the chromatin material will take place, and as a result, distinct and compact chromosomes will be formed. Then comes the next stage, zygotene. Here, synapses will take place. What is synapses? The pairing of homologous chromosomes. The chromosomes will come and align together. Homologous chromosomes will come and align together, as you can see here. And that is known as synapses, because earlier they were like an entangled thread-like structure. So they were not in the paired. Already the number of chromosomes will be the same, but they were not in that paired, they were not arranged in that way. Or the synapses was not there, or the pairing has not taken place earlier. Definitely the number of chromosomes, if 46 chromosomes are there, that will remain, but they were not distinct. So only if they are distinct, the pairing can be visible. So once the stage starts, the chromosomes will get thickened and they'll become compact and condensed, and then the pairing starts. And as you can see in this first figure also, that is below the first figure, there you can see homologous chromosomes are aligning together, and that synaptonemal complex is bringing them together, the ladder-like structure, which will help in keeping them, bringing them closer. And at this stage, you can call these paired chromosomes as bivalent or tetrad. Okay, is that clear? Yes. Now we'll move on to the next one. Third stage, pachytene. Under prophase 1, this is the longest phase. You know that in meiosis 1, prophase 1 is the longest phase. And under prophase 1, pachytene is the longest phase. So all these can be asked for multiple choice questions. This is the longest phase of prophase 1. Then here recombination nodules will appear at the sites where crossing over takes place between the non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. You know what are sister chromatids and non-sister chromatids? I've already told you. The chromatids of the same chromosome, you can call it as sister chromatids. And the chromatids belonging to 2 different chromosomes, you call it as non-sister. Chromatids belonging to 2 different chromosomes, even if it is a homologous pair. So here I will show you, these 2 are 2 homologous chromosomes. These 2 are sister chromatids. But when you take this and this, these are non-sister chromatids. Okay? Sister chromatids and non-sister chromatids, I hope you have understood. And crossing over, that also is a new term for you. You can see here, the chromatids are getting crossed over. That is very important, because in this way they exchange the genetic material. This is how the recombination of characters takes place. It will not remain the same. See, here you can see these homologous chromosomes come closer, crossing over. Their arms will cross over, or the chromatids will cross over. And when they get separated, you can find that each one will be getting a new segment or a new portion. See here, these 2 are homologous chromosomes. They come closer and crossing over. Their arms are getting crossed over. And once they get separated, you can see that the blue and the red color are shown just to make you understand the difference. Okay. Actually, these are not colored like this. See, when they get separated, the blue one will have a small piece of the red one, whereas the red one will have a small piece of the blue one. So that means the genetic material is being exchanged, and that is how recombination of characters will take place. New combination of characters will take place. So we'll come back to the statement given here. Recombination nodules will appear where crossing over takes place between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. So in Pakitine, in the previous stage, we learned that in zygotine, pairing is taking place. Synapses or pairing of homologous chromosomes will be taking place, facilitated by the formation of synaptonemal complex. So the terms which you should remember under zygotine are synapses, synaptonemal complex, bivalent or tetrad. Now coming to Pakitine. Here crossing over takes place. What is crossing over? In crossover, the chromatids of non-sister chromatids. If it is sister chromatid, same, no? There won't be any difference. But the genetic material will be exchanged between non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes, or crossover is taking place at this Pakitine stage. Now, next what you should know is certain structures. We call them as recombination nodules. So in the first figure on the right hand side, you can see those recombination nodules. Hope you have seen it. Recombination nodules will be formed where crossing over is taking place. Crossing over, what is crossing over? It is the exchange of genetic material between two homologous chromosomes with the help of an enzyme known as recombinase enzyme. So this process is facilitated by an enzyme which you call as recombinase enzyme. This will result in the recombination of genetic material between homologous chromosomes. So in mitosis, there was no crossover, but here, that is why we say in sexual reproduction involves new combination of characters. So in meiosis, which stage we are dealing now? Pakitine. And as I told you, this is the longest phase of prophase 1. And what happens here? Here crossing over takes place. What is crossing over? Crossing over, see, the arms are crossed over. If you check, the figures are clearly explaining the theory part. So crossing over, arms are getting crossed over. And where the crossing over is taking place, certain structures are formed to facilitate the process. You call those structures as recombination nodules, and the crossing over is facilitated by an enzyme which you call as recombinase. And then later these chromatids will get separated. When they separate, they will have a new, or you can find that there had been a genetic recombination. The genetic material, a portion of the genetic material has got changed. Recombination of the genetic material has taken place, because there you can find in the figure the blue one and the red one. After crossover, blue one is having a portion of the red one, and the red one is having a portion of the blue one. So recombination has taken place. Recombination has taken place there, and this will help in bringing about variety or variations. It results in recombination of genetic material between homologous chromosomes. So I'm repeating again, children. We learned 3 stages. In the first stage, the condensation of the chromatin material to form distinct and compact chromosomes. And in the second stage, zygotine, what are the points that you should remember? Synapses, synaptonemal complex, bivalent or tetrad. And in Pakitine, crossing over. Recombination nodules, recombinase. If you can remember these three terms, then you will be able to explain. Recombination nodules, crossing over, and recombinase enzyme. What is crossing over? It is the exchange of genetic material. The homologous chromosome. In the previous stage itself, you saw that the chromosomes are coming and aligning. They are arranging close together. Once they get arranged, they will exchange. They will cross over. Their arms will cross over, resulting in the exchange of genetic material. Any doubts? Complete silence. Only my voice is heard. Mary Angelina, feeling sleepy? Or tired of hearing my voice?
No.
Okay. Next stage is diplotin. Synaptonemal complex dissolves. When was it formed? In which stage was synaptonemal complex formed, children? In spite of repeating so many times, in which stage yes?
Zygote.
Zygote. Why you forgot? Or you're waiting for others to say the answer? So, zygote, the synaptonemal complex was formed. And that synaptonemal complex will get dissolved over here. Clear? And what is the function of synaptonemal complex? To bring these two homologous chromosomes together. So once the synaptonemal complex gets dissolved, the recombinants will get separated. So this was holding the synaptonemal complex, the ladder-like structure was holding these two homologous chromosomes together. So once this dissolves, the recombinants means the chromosomes where the recombination, where the crossover have taken place, they'll get separated from each other, but they will remain attached to the regions where crossover took place. See the figure, children? They will get, they will get separated. Here they have got separated, but this region, they will remain attached. And they appear like X-shaped structures. So here also you can find that the two chromosomes, synaptonemal complex is getting dissolved. The two recombinants means the chromosomes where recombination has taken place, they'll get separated. But where they will remain attached? Where the crossover has taken place. So that will resemble X. They'll remain as X-shaped structures. And you call these X-shaped structures as chiasmata. What are chiasmata? What are chiasmata, children? The X-shaped structures where these two chromatids will remain attached. And then the next one, the last phase is diakinesis. Chiasmata will terminalize. And the chromosomes will condense. So condensation has already started in the beginning phase itself. The first stage itself, the condensation has started. So the whole prophase stage, the condensation will keep on taking place. So the chromosomes will condense, and chiasmata terminalizes means this portion, this X-shaped structure will move towards the tip. It will move towards the tip. That is what is meant by terminalization of chiasmata. So with that, we have completed the different stages of prophase 1. These two stages I'll repeat once again. In diplotin, the synaptonemal complex will disappear. And once it disappears, what will happen? Once it disappears, what will happen? The recombinants, those chromosomes, the two homologous chromosomes where recombination has taken place will get separated. But where they will remain attached, they'll get separated except at the regions where crossover has taken place. And these regions will appear like X. And you call them as chiasmata. And the last stage is diakinesis. Here the chiasmata will be moving towards the tip. So it will be transferred towards the tip, and you call it as terminalization. It comes to the terminal end or at the tip. and the chromosome will condense. So with that, we have completed prophase 1. Any stages would you like to see again, or you want me to repeat again?
Ma'am, diplotin.
Diplotin. So in diplotin stage, synaptonemal, what you need to remember is chiasmata and dissolving of the synaptonemal complex. Synaptonemal complex, once it is getting dissolved, you know that it was holding the two homologous chromosomes together. Once this dissolves, they will get separated. But where recombination has taken place, that region will remain attached in the form of X. Okay, analysts? No, you didn't understand. Huh? So that region, see, I will show you. Analysts, see these chromosomes, two chromosomes, they have come together and a particular portion they get attached like this. They cross over. And once synaptonemal complex gets dissolved, rest of the part will get separated. But this part will remain intact. Okay. And in the next stage, what I said, this will get terminalized. This chiasmata will move towards the tip. Understood, analysts? So they were lying like this, crossing over takes place, but once the synaptonemal complex gets dissolved, except at the regions, they will get separated. And later, this chiasmata will move towards the tip. Okay. So now we can have a quick recap. Who is going to start? Tulya, tell me about the first stage. Leptotin.
Condensation makes chromosomes distinct and compact.
Yes, chromosomes will condense and they'll become distinct and compact. And then next, Alice, second one, what is the second stage?
Zygote.
Zygote. What happens in zygote?
Pairing of homologous chromosomes.
Homologous chromosomes will pair and it is facilitated by?
Synaptonemal.
Synaptonemal complex. Synaptonemal complex. Shabari, what do you know about synaptonemal complex?
It is formed during the synapses and it brings the homologous chromosomes together.
Once again?
It is formed during synapses and brings the homologous chromosomes together.
How does it look like?
Ladder.
Ladder-like structure. Then what are the other points I said under leptotin? Alan?
Ma'am, the complex formed by the pairing of homologous chromosomes is called bilateral tetrad. Bivalent.
Okay, bivalent or tetrad. Next point, third one. Third one, Alentina.
Packaging.
Packaging. What happens in packaging?
Crossing over.
Crossing over. Crossing over will take place. Then what will be formed? What all factors will facilitate this crossover?
Genetic material gets.
You heard my question. What all factors will facilitate this crossover, will help in crossover?
An enzyme called recombinase.
Recombinase, and some nodules will be formed. What do you call it?
Recombination.
And what is crossing over? Tom, what is meant by crossing over?
Crossing over is the exchange of genetic material between two homologous chromosomes.
Specify that. Between dash of two homologous chromosomes. Sorry, between dash of homologous chromosomes.
The chromatids.
What chromatids?
Non-sister chromatids.
Non-sister chromatids of homologous chromosomes. Then we learned about, after packaging, diplotin. Diplotin, what happens, Meryl? Adidev? Adidev is getting bored.
The synaptic complex dissolves and the components are separate from each other except at the side of the
crossover. What do you call it?
Chiasmata.
Yes. Last part Aditya Dev can say. Diakinase, simple. Aditya Dev.
Chiasmata terminates. And
Chiasmata will
chromosomes-
terminalizes and chromosome will condense. Thank you, children.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Class.